Mayor Bill Spitzer joins us in council chambers at St. Charles City Hall. We're going to talk about things happening here in the community of St. Charles. And Mayor, thank you for being here today.
Hey, it's always a pleasure. I love when you come to my house.
I like coming to your house. Lots of things to talk about. Let's start with the fire station. I hear we're going to have some changes coming.
Well, we've been talking about this since actually 2008. And unfortunately, we had that unfortunate event, North Star Foods fire, so that kind of delayed a lot of those talks. But we identified a need back in 2008 for a new, actually a combined facility between our ambulance and our fire department, so emergency services building. And we kind of looked at, what the needs were today, what the needs are going to be tomorrow. And back in '08, we felt that we needed a whole new addition, actually almost doubling the size of the current facility, and moving the ambulances out of the city hall where they're currently housed, and then expanding the apparatus bay down at the fire department. So, we're looking at revitalizing that. We did some tweaking on it, and of course the price tag went up $400,000 since the last time we looked at it. So we're looking at about a $1.8 million facility that should take us a good 50 years into the future. So the discussions are just starting. We're just in the preliminary stages of reintroducing the project. So hopefully it'll all work out, and hopefully we keep the public well informed on what we want to do and what direction we want to go.
I recall seeing some plans that had been drawn up, some artist renderings and things, and as I recall, it was a nice looking facility.
Absolutely. They do a nice job of renovating facilities these days, and that's one of the things that we strongly encouraged the developers, is that we want to utilize the existing structure. The existing shell of the fire department is just fine. What we really need to do is just update it. It's a 50-plus-year-old facility, and they never even thought about the internet back then, Dave, and now, of course, we can't almost live without it. So, there's a lot of technological advances that we need to put back in the facility. And, of course, trucks have gotten bigger over the years, so the apparatus bay needs to be bigger. And we added a second ambulance a few years back, so now we have 2 ambulances stuffed in one garage. So it's pretty tight, and we have had some minor mishaps, trying to squeeze those 2 ambulances in one slot. So just giving the space in the apparatus bay is what we really need to improve upon.
And we're at that time of the year where budgets are on everyone's mind, household budgets and, of course, city budgets as well. Where's the process for the city of St. Charles?
Well, we've just completed all of our budget for the city, both the enterprise funds and the general fund, the enterprise funds being the water, sewer, and electric. We just got the final discussions on that at the last council meeting. So we're happy to report that we're looking at a 0% increase in property taxes. Unfortunately, we can't say the same about water and sewer. Those are stuff that we had built-in increases for the next several years. Now, whether we go with those increases still hasn't been decided, but we did have our financial planner for the city stop in at the last council meeting. And of course, his recommendation is to keep on schedule if we want to continue to improve our infrastructure for water and sewer and electric, as that we continue on this pattern. So, property taxes, no increase, but we may see some increases in our enterprise funds, our water, electric, and sewer.
And there's some meetings happening we kind of discussed about?
Yeah, the meetings that were going on in the last month, I would say. We had a strategic planning session between the city council and all the department heads in the city. Just kind of seeing, where do we want to go? Where do we see St. Charles? There's a lot of things happening in the area. We've all heard about the Destination Medical Center and some of the other things that are going on in our community, or in our area. And we thought, what is our community going to do, to try to make that more appealing for people to come to St. Charles? So we started looking at, what are some things that we do as a city? What are some things that we should be doing for the city? What are some goals? What do we do well? What do we need to improve upon? So it was a very good, we had about a half-day session with staff and council, and we came up with some very good ideas, and we're waiting to get the final executive summary from the facilitator in the discussion. So, when those comes through, we'll bring it up for discussion on the city council and hopefully have some, nice goals to be set for the next few years.
Now, you also have some planning sessions coming up involving the school as well?
Yeah, when we thought about the strategic planning for the city, we said, who are our other partners in the community that maybe we should be looking toward? And one of them was the school board, looking to the school board and saying, what are some things that we can do together to improve St. Charles? So the strategic planning session for that is coming up in the next, actually, November, this month. So, this month we'll be meeting with the school board and just kind of looking at, what are some joint projects that we can, bring to the table. And I know one is going to be safe routes to school. I mean, that always, for the last 9 years that I've been mayor, have come up quite often. How can we get our students safely to school? And a lot of it involves different areas of the city, so that's where the city needs to become involved a little bit more. So we'll identify some things for that agenda, and I would encourage anybody that's watching us today, if you have anything that concerns that you may have that may involve the school and the city together, please let us know. Give us a call down at City Hall.
All right. And I know there was one more thing we're going to talk about, and now it's slipping my mind. Do you recall?
Well, only that we got a new police chief.
There we go.
Yeah.
That was it. See, I'm never in trouble with the law,
Right,
so that's the first thing from my mind.
Exactly. We did get a new police chief about 3 months ago, and he's been on board, and he's been changing and updating a lot of things, and hopefully we're going to see a different type of direction and bringing that policing more toward the community policing, working more with citizens, working more with businesses and the schools as well. So, I hope that nobody has to call the police, but I think it's encouraging that if you have some concerns, to please let the new police chief know. He is around town most of the time. He does live outside of town on the weekends, but for the most part, our chief is around. And if you need something or you have a concern, please give us a call.
All right. Anything else that we should bring? I think we've covered pretty much everything.
Yeah, I think you did a good job, David. I appreciate you coming on location. That drive is really hard for me,
Yeah, but it's a nice time of the year here.
There you go. Absolutely.
The snow hasn't fallen yet.
Right. Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
All right. Well, Bill, thank you for taking time today.
Hey, thanks a lot.